Hey guys, I'll be with you in 1 second. Kind of let the audience build. Give me just a minute. Got to get this link here so I can share it. All right, so people starting to roll in. Okay, now I cannot respond to your comments. I can't see your comments here. I'm not on my channel. I'm on my son's channel, but we're going to get to that in just a minute. So I'll get your comments off my phone. What I'm going to do here real quick, hold on. I'm going to post a link to the full video that you're about to see. This mess is absolutely crazy. Hey, Huckleberry, hashtag Team David, awesome. And here we go. Here we go. Whoops. Okay, that should have gone through. All right. Got something really interesting going on. I want to share with you guys because it is absolutely ridiculous. And it's so ridiculous that it got my attention, and I'm sitting here before you now. That's how ridiculous it was. Let's see if I can get this or not. Probably not. Yeah, it's not going to let me do it. All right. 1 minute. Still letting some people get in here. Okay, so I have to go on my cell phone to see how many of you are in here and in the comments and whatnot. So that's what I'm doing. I can get to this. All right, let's see here. Thank you, Lanley. All right, here we go. So, as I'm sure you're all aware, the Texas governor has put out thank you, Howard, for the super chat, a mandate about wearing masks in public. But there are exemptions to this mask requirement. Now, however you feel about masks, that's up to you. Me personally, I don't wear one unless I'm going into places where I'm going to be in very close proximity to people. What I'm doing to avoid anything is keeping my distance from people and washing my hands a lot. And that has proven to be effective for me. Now, if you have a medical exemption, you don't have to wear a mask. And the police cannot ask you what that medical exemption is because it's a HIPAA violation. But what you're about to see here is a gentleman who wasn't wearing a mask in a convenience store. A policeman comes in and says there is a city ordinance that requires a mask in Waco. There is not. There's only the governor's mandate, and I'm just going to let the video speak for itself because it's that bad. So here we go. Now that's the policeman coming in there through the door, and I would tell you that the link to this video, the full video, will be in the description of this as soon as it wraps up. The link will be there, so you can go over there and watch the whole thing. I'm just kind of skip through it so that you can get a feel for what's going on.
mask at?
What mask?
The mask that you're required to wear by city ordinance.
Oh, I don't have one.
You need to step outside until you can get one.
Really?
City ordinance, sir. You not see the sign?
Like your mask is really working.
It's still a city ordinance. Leave the property or you get a citation. Period. Don't argue with me. It's real
You know
simple.
what? You know what the governor's order?
I
You
don't
know
care what the governor order is. It is a city
Oh, wait a
ordinance to
minute.
step
Did we just
outside.
take the mask off?
Now, pay attention to the attitude this guy's getting from this officer right from the very start. You know, it's all about escalation. The officer told him to leave. The guy's headed for the door. The officer makes a comment. The guy stops, addresses the comment, then goes out the door. And that's what you're fixing to see. He complied with what the officer told him to do.
No, I pulled it up because it was
No, you put it. It was exposed.
Dispatch, start me another unit.
Oh.
We'll have to detain one. Put your hands right here.
No, sir. I am not going to be detained.
Yes, you are. I will tase you right now. You are in violation, and I gave you a lawful order. You have a weapon. Put your hands up now.
Here, take this
Dispatch,
back.
he's armed. Have the unit step it up. I've got him taser. Get your hand up now. Dude, you're just dumb. You should be listening.
You should be listening. And keep in mind that this guy exited the premises when the officer told him to do so. He left. He's outside the building now. If you watch the door here, you'll be able to see a reflection of what's going on.
Don't move. You move again, I'm going to drop you. It was simple. All you had to do was step outside and put a mask on.
Now, keep in mind that now there are other officers running code to get to the scene. They are risking other people's lives, citizens' lives as well as their own, running to this scene where the big crime is not wearing a mask. How's that for Waco, Texas? Unbelievable, and it gets worse.
When you step out, cuff him. Take him straight down and cuff him. He's under arrest.
Okay, the officer said take him straight down, meaning take him down to the ground and cuff him. He's under arrest. Under arrest for what? It's not even a lawful detention. What are you arresting him for? This is the kind of stupidity that I see on a daily basis. You guys, you get videos from me here and there, but this happens every stinking day, and it shouldn't be happening. Luckily, this guy was wearing a body camera, because good luck ever getting body camera footage from Waco PD. They're unionized thugs that hide their wrongdoing from the public because they don't want the bootlickers turning on them. So this is where it starts to get interesting. I'm going to shut up and let you watch.
I got a problem with that knee right there.
One to take this back slow down.
I'm not sure if it's showing up in the audio, but there are other units coming and they are running code. All that. They're risking the lives of citizens in that area over a mask violation that isn't even a violation.
Put him in the back of the car after he searched, please. Sir, did you pay for the water?
No, I haven't paid for the water. That's why I put it down. I completely forgot about it since I was being threatened.
I'm not gonna, I mean, I told you to go outside, so that's not an issue.
And Which one is the supervisor, please, sir?
Well, there's one there and there's one here, okay?
Okay,
and well, there's one, all of them are sergeants actually, okay?
so I wasn't doing anything. That's not camera.
Okay, sir, I'm on camera.
Yeah, but you know what? Trying to get public request these cameras from you guys is an act of Congress.
I'm just doing what my partner told me. He told me to search you and put you in a car,
Which
okay?
one's the supervisor?
Well, there's a commander, there's a sergeant, there's a sergeant. So you pick one of the three.
Okay, there is a commander. The watch commander is there, and he's letting this happen. Okay, watch commander, this is management, is standing by, letting this happen.
Who's the highest in rank?
This will be him, Commander Strong.
I'll be right back.
You say you searched?
No, he has not been searched, but he does have more magazines on him for his weapon.
Which is legal.
Nobody said it wasn't.
No, what I'm getting at, search him.
Huh?
Search him.
Yeah, please.
Thank you.
Okay, now this is where it really gets kind of funny. All right, the Attorney General in the state of Texas has ruled that your license to carry is identification. And the state of Texas, and I want to stress this to you guys that are, because some of you are out of state watching this, and I don't want there to be any confusion. We're talking about Texas. Your state laws may be different. Okay? We're talking about Texas. In Texas, the only time you have to identify yourself is when you have been, and I know everybody knows this because you hear it from me all the time, lawfully arrested. The only time you have to identify yourself in the state of Texas is when you have been lawfully arrested. This guy isn't even lawfully detained. He sure can't be arrested. He has not committed a crime. He has no obligation to give up his license to carry or any other information. Now, he's not well versed on the law. He knows it pretty good, but not really good. And so he's going to go ahead and give it up. And I'm not faulting him for that, because it's better to do that than to make a mistake and get a criminal charge that will stick. All right? So he did the right thing here. He wasn't sure. Better to err on the side of caution. But this whole situation escalated by a cop that I'm sure management knows is a scumbag. They know this guy does this, and they look the other way. So when they all rolled up there running code, acting stupid, putting citizen lives at risk, they knew this cop is prone to this type of activity.
Everything's gonna be laid right here, okay?
I'll give you permission to search me.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Brent, and am I under arrest?
Brent what?
My name is Brent.
Brent? You got a last name, Mr. Brent?
I do.
What's your last name?
My last name is McCain.
Huh?
McCain.
McCain?
All right.
There you go, it's unlocked.
Now pay attention. That officer is searching his wallet. All right? He is searching the wallet. He has no authority to do that. He has no probable cause to search the wallet. Yet he's doing it.
Yeah, how does that work? No, brother, thank you. It's a body cam. He was testing me.
So he had it on?
I don't know if it was on or not.
Now this guy is he often open carries, and so he runs a body camera much the way I do, pretty much all the time. Luckily, he was running it when this occurred. He was in there and in the store before the officer even got on in the parking lot. Okay, so this wasn't him testing the officer, although the officer is going to assert that. This is not him testing the officer. This is him covering his buttocks. Okay?
Does he have a concealed carry?
Yes.
I think yeah.
I think it was one of those tests. But I did everything by the book. I mean,
Yes. Did everything by the book. I threatened an innocent citizen with death or severe bodily injury. That's doing it by the book in Waco. Yeah. Uh-huh.
I put it back in there. I gave it to him.
Oh, okay.
And is anybody turning that body camera on?
No,
So he probably was running.
turn it, stay on.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I never. Only thing I did
Mine
is
was
touch
on.
the top to turn it on. I mean, take it off of it.
All right, I'm gonna run his gun and make sure. I think it was one of those he was testing, and that's when he did that. To be honest with you.
To be honest with you, if that was a test, you flunked, dude. You straight up flunked. I can't wait to bump into you in Waco. You think that was a test? I got a test for you.
One of those First Amendment, whatever.
Just to be clear, this was not a First Amendment test. If he was doing anything, it would have been a Second Amendment test. Dingbat. Man, these guys, where do they get? Just so uneducated, so full of themselves. I don't get it.
Will you keep an eye on that?
Because I love how they do. I just like that.
You get my yep.
There's a lot of interesting conversation here. Go to the full video and catch that conversation. I'm just kind of zipping through here to give you the gist of it. I don't want to use up too much of your time, so.
I've got half of it. So I would really love to go with that.
Yeah, it's sweet. I'm just going to write this stuff down and I'm going to let him be. Is your holster, is it just a pull out or is it like how's it into your belt? Unhook it for me and throw that up here. I'm going to put your firearm back in it and I'll hand it to you as we're done.
Can I have your name and badge number, please?
Yes, sir. Sergeant Bowden, badge number 41.
You, sir? 140, and you're the commander? Yes, sir. Okay.
Do you need to speak with us about anything before you
No,
go?
no, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
It's on your citation, but it's 66 if you need to remember it.
Thank you.
Okay. Step over there and I'll hand you.
They're making him go to his vehicle before they give him his weapon. They're scared that he might be angry enough to do something to them. You know, this is how bad they've gotten up there. They're afraid. They're not just afraid of criminals. They're not afraid of Antifa. They're not afraid of Black Lives Matter. They're not afraid of whatever else you can think of. They're scared of the law-abiding citizens in their own communities because they're such thugs. Because they are operating so far off from the community connection that they're scared of the law-abiding citizens in the community. I think that says a lot about Waco PD. Guys, as always, if anything you saw in this video, and again, the link to this video, the full video, and I urge you to go over and look at it, is in the description, or it will be shortly. Go over and watch the entire video and listen to them calling this guy a sovereign citizen and all this kind of stupid stuff. Okay? And for all you cops that are watching this, there it is. There's that disconnect. There is the reason. You just took a law-abiding citizen. You just took somebody that's very likely pro-police. I've talked to this guy before, and he's pro-police. Do you think he's still pro-police? Think about that. We're not turning against you. You're turning us against you. When you let crooked cops do whatever they want without repercussions, without you taking action, we're not turning against you. You're turning us against you. You are creating the enemy. Think about that. Think about that. Guys, thanks for watching. I saw a couple people throw some super chat. I'm having to watch on the phone here. I appreciate it. I'll hit and I'm looking at your comments and stuff. Let me see what I can get here. Let's see. I'm going to start with Awful Mike. Never thought I'd have to tell a grocery store attendant that I don't answer questions. Yeah. Sky Pilot. The cops have been earning the hate for years. What you sow, you reap. I concur. I have been saying for years, I have been telling cops everywhere that would listen to me that this was coming. That this was coming because of the disconnect that they are creating. I've been preaching it for years. Jack Prindeville. We had a lot of ex-cops work for us all. Yeah, bad name there. Most have been fired from the police. If you told them to do something, they get mad. Yeah. Waco PD is usually pretty good. Not sure what happened here. Waco PD, I can only speak from my personal experience. Waco PD is not the worst. They are just north of mediocre. They're just north of medium on the scale, on my scale. What you just saw here is an officer with an attitude that can do whatever he wants and get away with it because there will be no repercussions. Nothing will happen to this guy, and he knows it. Why do you do the speed limit? When you're driving down, thank you, Catherine. When you're driving down the highway, why do you do the speed limit? Because you'll get a ticket, and it'll cost you a bunch of money if you don't. Cause and effect. So if there was no ticket for speeding, what incentive do you have to not speed? It's the same thing with bad cops. They exist because they do not face consequences when they do wrong. So why do the right thing? Why not be, hey, I am God, you got to do what I say or else I'll arrest you and ruin your life? They know they can do it and nothing will happen. And it doesn't matter if you beat the case. It doesn't matter because the damage will be done. Get charged with a Class A misdemeanor in this state. Fighting it will cost you somewhere in the neighborhood of $10,000. How many of you have $10,000 to throw at a case? You know what should happen is if you beat a case or it gets dismissed, the officer should have to pay for all your legal expenses, your time away from work. If we started doing that, hey, that'd make some changes, wouldn't it? You know, you look at this stuff, it's all about ruining lives and showing you who has the power. Some of the emails that we've gotten out of Deer Park, there's one in particular that I just laughed about. They were upset. They expected when I got arrested that I would have to sit in jail because I couldn't afford to make bond, and that I would have a public pretender representing me, and so I would have to cop a deal. And it didn't matter whether they got a conviction or not. In the email, he clearly says it doesn't matter whether we get a conviction or not, because just this accusation is going to ruin his life. Never occurred to them that I'm not poor. It never occurred to them that I have money to fight. And so when I hired one of the leading attorneys in the state or in the Harris County, and I made bond, they were pretty upset. But they were happy to gloat on the fact that, hey, just this accusation will ruin his life. That's what's wrong with policing in America. They know it. And if it was one of their buddies, their union buddies, the union would be all over it trying to protect them. And that's what's wrong. This is the problem. People have had enough. They've had enough of being bullied and abused. And they're standing up. And in some cases, they're striking back. And it's gonna get worse. Not because of me, not because of what I'm telling everybody here, but because of the bad cops. They're still out there. They're still not facing consequences for their actions. And as long as that continues, it's gonna get worse. I honestly expect it is going to come to a new revolution. And when that happens, I hate to say it, but when that happens, I expect some of the first people to be tried and convicted of war crimes or whatever. I expect that they'll be those costumed people. You created it. Live with it. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. I appreciate you guys watching. Again, the link to the video is will be in the description. And I will see you guys again soon. As always, be safe and always, always document interactions with law enforcement.